Welcome back to another review on J Reviews, and from the first episode we reviewed the first Crash Bandicoot game, so check it out if you haven't. I need to clear up something and say I'm most likely not reviewing all the Crash games in the series, due to the fact that there's 3 I haven't beaten. Out of those 3, I'm not planning on beating one of them. But I will review all the PS1 games of Crash, and maybe 1 or 2 PS2 games from them. But I have more in store, a heap full of reviews ideas after I finish with Crash. Don't worry. Now that we got that out of the way, it's time to review the most likely best in its series, and my favorite in the series, Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. Crash Bandicoot 2 was the sequel to the hit and critically acclaimed Crash Bandicoot title. It was released in 1997, and in the trailer it showed lots of promise, giving us more levels and wider areas, and just new mechanics and awesome graphics and sweet gameplay with our favorite Bandicoot. People argue that it is the best Crash Bandicoot game in its series, and while I'm on that side of the whole thing, I do think it is. Crash Bandicoot 2 is the best in its series, and it's my favorite Crash game. There are people on the Crash Bandicoot warped side, but we'll get to that game in the next episode. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into the new and fresh quality story. Or is it? First clip you see is Cortex falling down from the blimp that you kicked his ass on back in the first game. Or something. Then falls into a big cave with very sharp, dangerous, and pointy crystals. How the fuck did he not get impaled? Other than that, Cortex has a new and big plan and needs to get to the crystals to power the Cortex Vortex. With that and the great voiced acting talent from Clancy Brown, he says, "If we don't have any friends left on the surface, then we'll need to find an enemy." Crash and his sister cut. Wait a minute, where's Tana? Did Crash have problems in bed? Did the bitch ran off with Pinstripe? Oh shit, I'm sorry, Crash. Nah, but what really happened was parents thought it wasn't kid friendly or some shit, so they scrapped the character, and now here we are with Coco. Let's continue. Now Coco, being the useless bitch she is, she tells Crash to make himself useful and get her a new battery for her pink laptop. Crash then sets off on the grand adventure to find the new battery and stop the forces of battery loss. Crash gets sucked into a warp room, and then we have a cutscene with Dr. Cortex, again, telling him that through these 5 doorways, each of the levels has a well-hidden crystal. A well-hidden crystal. A well-hidden. So then he says he will speak with him later. The story I like delivers a darker tone to it than in the first Crash game, especially with Clancy Brown voicing Cortex. It adds somewhat more intense touch to it, and it can really get the player excited for another kick-ass adventure. Well, from my point of view anyway, but I know I'm right about the darker tone to the story. So now here we are with the controls and other junk, and it's the same exact thing, jumping, spinning, and yeah, but we do have new moves. We now have sliding, and damn would it have been a little easier if it were in the first Crash game. Besides that, with sliding you can make larger jumps, and Crash is able to crouch now as well. With that, you can make tall jumps if you crouch. Overall, the controls are the same, or moves, I should say, but the jumping is way more precise, making it easy to make your jumps, and it gives you a tight feeling. No more noodly loose jumping anymore. It's precise and easy to make your mark and make Crash jump where you want him to jump. I'm playing this on the PS3, but I do know that this has analog mode. If you play it on the PS1/PS2, with the newer controllers with the analogs, still it's fine because analogs are arrows with Crash Bandicoot games. I'll still be able to play them. Just sucks now PS3 doesn't have analog mode with Crash 2. Another cool thing is in certain levels, enemies seem to interact with you there. So some of the enemies, or you can find some to interact with you, like the Piranha Bomb spitting plant. No, how I said some enemies and not lots. Do want to point out this though, they improved on the enemies and the game, making them kind of tough to get around, and really makes you or needs you to have more patience to get across and kill them. which is a good thing. Crash Bandicoot was never a game to be rushed in like that, or you will find yourself dropping from 40 lives to 10. And this game returns with improved graphics and environments, with orgasmic music. The work in the game with the soundtrack has to be the best I've seen in a Crash game. I know some argue Twin Sanity has the best soundtrack, but in my opinion, it does not. But it is unique and there's some good tunes out of it. The levels come back with making it more colorful in some areas and brings more challenge, giving you death roads to go across to get boxes, maybe even a gem at some points. Yes, there's secret colored gems making a return, and good god, they fucking suck. They are easier than Crash ones though, sometimes, but goddamn they are annoying. And I suck at it too. The levels consist of mostly from like how the last Crash game was, with creek-like waterfall areas with more platforming, and the sweet jetboard part. There is also snow levels and sewer levels, and that's where some of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard live, including the creek. That's some good ass soundtracks right there. Then you have your classic run to the camera and do not run into the fucking pits or electric fences part back and with added difficulty. You also have your hog wild type levels, but in snowy areas with the baby polar bear, who is honestly kinda cute, but fuck this level. I can't tell you how many times I lost because I attempt to go over this bullshit of a jump. I don't know if I'm the only one with the problem here at going over it, but goddamn it is frustrating. Come to think of it, the second time trying to beat Crash Bandicoot 1, I was breezing through the first half and a little of the second, not dying as much. Second time beating Crash Bandicoot 2 and it's still fucking hard as the first time. Holy shit, this game is hard. I suck so much more by ass at it. Favorite game in the series, but sucks complete donkey shit at it. Awesome! Then you have futuristic levels in it, which is pretty new, I think. Lots of enemies, platformer challenges, and sweet gameplay. Then you have the newest one, which you play as Crash in a jetpack for 2 or 3 levels with inverted controls, but they're honestly to get the hang of it. Then you have tiki looking and dark looking kind of levels, which doesn't occur that often if I remember this game right. Now I almost forgot, but we gotta take a look at those boss fights. There are 5 boss fights, I believe, 1 less than the last game, and it consists of going in order. Here, Ripperoo, Motor Brothers, Tiny, Engine, and of course Dr. Cortex. The only 2 that made a return into the boss fights were Ripperoo and Dr. Cortex, which I still find it quite odd completely, because if they added Dr. and wait, I was gonna say Embryo, but he's part of the secret ending or true ending that I haven't talked about yet. Ripperoo is really easy, planting TNT and nitro boxes on the tiles. All you have to do is really find a way, run, and then find the blank corner, chill in there until everything explodes, and then spin him, which is after the nitro box part of the boss fights. Do that 3 times and the boss is over. And we have the Komodo Brothers, which is just horse shit, but creative somewhat, where you got the fat ass one Mo spinning his brother around, making it some kind of mini tornado like Crash when he spins, and avoid that while we throw swords at you, and dodging and hitting the dizzy brother after spinning knocks him into Mo's stomach, and then that's how it goes. Do that 3 to 4 times and the boss is won. Then we have Tiny, which is piss freaking easy. All you have to do is hop around while he's chasing you and land on a platform that doesn't blink red. Find one that's still green lit, do that 3 times, and you won, you know the drill. Which I don't know how it isn't 1 time, since he plummets to his freaking death like 1 billion feet from the air.
They're great!
Now we have Engine, about him by the way. What Engine does is show off his little laser shooters or whatever they are, and then you gotta throw a Wumpa at him. It looks like he is shitting Wumpas at him. You have to dodge his lasers, and after taking care of those, then you have to destroy his missile launchers on his big robot suit, dodging missiles and apparently throwing Wumpa fruit. Then after you dodge and destroy that, you have to destroy his little green laser beam shooting thing, dodging and hopping between platforms and shit. Then after that, you finally kill the son of a bitch. I hate his boss fights, and I don't want to count how many times we have to get his fat ass. We talked about how all the levels are and all of the boss fights. We have struggled through them together and went through the secrets and boss fights together. Well, not the secrets. We can take the next and final challenge. We can take him. We'll bring down Cortex and finish him and save the Earth. Let's do it. We have trained so hard and went through so much, it's finally time to fight. Charge! Oh, are you fucking kidding me? You play a game of tag with this marshmallow-looking piece of crap after all the bullcrap I was put through with Engine? That's a big middle finger to the players that they have struggled to get here. Thank you, assholes. But all that aside, we do that 3 times, going through, spinning him and shit, and avoiding obstacles, and the cool part is on a jetpack. which I thought that was beast. And you are in space. You have a certain time because of that stupid big-headed shit base gets through that portal, you are screwed. That's the start of the fight. Well, at least have a good feeling to the boss fight. Still not satisfying due to its horseshit difficulty. Now that we take care of Cortex and our little playdate, since it's a game of tap, we then see the final cutscene with Crash and Coco back where they were chilling and shit and talking, wondering, I wonder what will happen with the Cortex vortex. It's still up there. Then the credits roll. Now that we got that, it's time for the true ending, where if you retrieve every single gem in this level, you team up with Dr. Embryo, who tells you to keep collecting the gems during the game, I think once. Then after the end with all the gems, you get a shot with him, Coco, and Crash and destroy the Cortex Vortex, and the game is won. That's a sweet ending, and I forgot to mention Coco warns you about Cortex's plans towards the middle and end, and shit like that. This is funny because if you exit the level back to the warp room without getting a crystal, Cortex gets pissed off about you.
No, Crash. I said bring me the crystals! Now, get back in there.
Now to put everything in a neat package and put the bow on it, Crash Bandicoot 2 is a solid platformer. Still has easy boss fights even though it's fucking bullshit of a fucking final boss. Very hard difficulty and spikes up towards the end, which I'm happy it doesn't go all over the place unless you're stupid like me or just suck at the game. But the precise controls, beautiful music, and the level design really wins it and makes the experience with the game even better. It's like what I said in the Crash 1 review, pretty much. What I didn't like is I feel as if there were a little too much vehicle area towards the end, even though they were kind of fun. Well, if that's just me. Not sure about you guys. I also didn't like how the boss fights were harder. Actually, I take that back. Not hard at all, honestly. They were annoying and kind of stupid, too. There was legitimately not one I liked too much except Tiny. Characters, I meant. Because he's fucking awesome. And then I did, in all honesty, like the final boss in a way, only because the feel of it and how you, like, executed it. Like, you know, flying through space and all that shit. That's honestly pretty cool. I also like the idea of them introducing new characters instead of bringing the same old ones, and only bringing back a few of them. That's good. The story is way more improved and has a darker tone to it, which makes the game more intense and more exciting. Crash Bandicoot 2 has improved so much from the first game with tighter controls and no mechanics, including a way more better story that is actually introduced when you start the game, and not wait at the title screen. Good graphics, great music, you know, recapping all of that, and just too damn good, I guess. I was going to give this game a 9, but that was just beforehand. I think I'm ready to sum up my 100% honest score for this solid game. Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back gets an 8 out of 10. I try my best to make this review as unbiased as possible and actually not get sucked into it even more than, and say the word nostalgia 700 times in one video. I love this game very much, and I hope you love this review very much. Tune in next Friday where I take a look at Crash Bandicoot 3 Warp. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more awesome content from this channel. Javis Games signing off here, and see you in the next video. Stay awesome.